Welcome to Super LCS Recap Worlds Edition. Welcome to Super LCS Recap Worlds' SK Telecom T1 versus Najin Black Sword in the clash of the Korean semi-finalists. Let's start with the picks and bans. SKT opting for Twitch, Thresh and Sona, and Sword getting rid of Vi, Zed and Fizz. SKT are target banning Najin Sword's bot lane and removing Thresh and Sona, leaving Zyra as one of the few viable supports left. This also removes the threat of the box and Crescendo, so Sword are free to choose squishier but higher damage champions if they wanted to. Sword, however, don't want A, Faker, and B, the near unstoppable Fizz-Vi knock-up combo to get out of control. And they also prevent the potential snowball from coming out of these three champions this game. In terms of picks, SKT on Shen, Ezreal, Zyra, Ahri and Elise versus Sword's Corki, Elise, Jax, Leona and Gragas. Impact's first pick Shen will make any assassin engage on the side of Sword difficult because of the looming threat of Stand United, and the heavy pick composition suggests that Prey will be their primary target. For the first time in Worlds, we get to see Expression's Jax, but the kill lane in bot spells trouble for Pumandu. Lastly, Nagne's Gragas is an attempt to use his explosive cask to disrupt the heavy dives that will probably be coming out from SKT at some point in this game.
By Expression there to just be able to walk into the side lane bush. He's been undetected so far.
Oh, the cocoon does land. They've jumped on Impact.
Yeah, Impact having to flash away, but they're going to go in for this one. Impact's going to go down. First blood goes over to Najin Sword and Expression.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Bengi's been setting up a good push gank of his own.
There's the ultimate coming down. Mandu bursts down to almost nothing, but Bengi right on top. There's the kickback. Prey dies, but he takes one with him. And he's done well to get out of that in the way that he has.
It's not over.
Kane might not have the same. He's going to fall. Bengi picks up another one.
Exploiting Kane's lack of flash, Pumandu sends out a full combo.
Kane's going to get caught by the Stranglethorns, thrown up into the air. Pumandu and Piglet are hammering away. That's a great solar flare, but it's not over yet as Piglet and Pumandu pick up the kill on Kane.
Oh no, Kane's sticking around again, but you got to shout out Pumandu for landing his snares right there again.
Pumandu's quickly brought to justice though, as he's trapped between a rock and a drunk place.
Throws backwards, Pumandu forced to flash out. The solar flare comes down. Stand United is going to keep Pumandu alive as they turn the pressure back onto Watch. Now Watch is doing the best he can to get away. He manages to repel away from the taunt, but here comes Faker.
Kane is dead in this one. He's not going to be able to escape it. Are they going to keep going for it though? Expression going to dive in. Here comes Prey from the side, and all of a sudden he gets the burst kill on towards Faker. Impact and Bengi. Oh, Nagne going deep. He's going to die from the tower. Piglet picks that one up in the end. A crazy fight ends in 3 for 2.
Man, dude, just...
Faker sees Watch on his own in the river and thinks he can crush the spider with ease.
Here, because Leona didn't do that great in lane, she needs her money.
Oh, here comes Faker. Solar flare lands down. Expression's going to stun him up. They've turned it around. Watch has survived. Now they turn onto Pumandu, but he flashes away from the cast.
It's those picks that we were talking about. Faker was looking for his, but the Vision War, Najin Sword knew that they were going to go for that when they set this one up beautifully, using them as bait. They were able to capitalize, just stacking all of their sons very, very well.
So, the turret now going to be under pressure. Bengi taking a lot of damage. Two-shot barrage actually flashing to Bengi. He's gone in there. Not sure that's the best decision. There is a Stranglethorns. Will only hit Gragas as Kane goes low, but it's a double kill for Expression here. Prey now having to flash away from that one. Piglet going to chase through. He's going to pick up that 1v1, and that is leaving us with a 3 for 3 here in the end.
Watch is
Still very even at 30 minutes. Both teams are looking for decent picks, but who can get one first?
catch out Kane. Cocoon lands. That's a flash over the wall for Watch. Now Kane has re-engaged. The solar flare locks down Faker. Stranglethorns throws him up in the air. They've traded 1 for 1.
1 for 1, but Mandu surely will fall. Actually managing to walk away for now with Ignite ticking. There's a double, the barrel coming down. Now Expression going very low. Mandu will finish that one up with his passive. But there is another barrel coming in. Nagne picks up the triple. They're going to keep chasing here, but do they have the damage? Prey going over towards Bengi. Bengi will walk away for now. They chase down Impact off to the side. Nagne going to keep track of him here. Is he going to be able to hold it off? There's the belly slam and the barrel. Nagne cleaning up.
And Nagne comes up huge for Najin Sword. Who would have thought he was the one going to pick up the rest of these kills? They also are able to get onto this inhibitor turret here.
After a sneaky Baron, Sword put the pressure down on the mid inhibitor.
Skill shot base here. There it goes.
Mandu getting caught out from this one. It's going to flash, but it won't matter. Expression picks that one up, and that will open up the inhib. Sword take it and back away.
And then onto the top lane now with an increasing turret lead and the gold chasm widening. SKT have to engage now or lose the game.
You can see Prey does have flash available. The taunt comes out, he sidesteps it, in goes Faker. Nagne does manage to get off that Zhonya's Hourglass. He's alive before he gets kicked back into the fight. That is a massive toss. It knocks everyone from SKT aside, and the rest of Sword on the inhibitor.
Piglet here getting caught up. They're going to lock him down. Flash comes in from him. Piglet, Mandu, and Impact. The last 3 men alive here. Sword managed to take down the inhib. They may try and close out this first game right here.
SKT were the ones that finally were able to initiate there, but Nagne with the Zhonya is able to stay alive and get his ulti off.
A massive ultimate that was knocking everyone from SKT aside. Sword have a 5 versus 3 here for another 40 seconds. Cleanse comes out there from Prey using their Quicksilver Sash. They're trying to focus down Impact. Tower has fallen. There's only 1 tower standing on before the Nexus here for SK Telecom. Sword are going to pick up game 1 in the series.
Great win from them. They force it through there in the end. And we said it before, SKT not the best starters generally in these best-of-5 situations.
So Naj and Sword grab a game on their Korean league mates, but what does Monte Cristo think about the picks and bans?
That championship match.
Basically, Sword had the superior 5v5 as well as the superior split push. You got to say they baited that Shen right now, because even if Shen and Jax had gone even in that lane, Jax would have come in. Now, what this did was it made SK Telecom's composition very one-dimensional. They needed picks. And we saw Faker getting the early home guard much earlier than he normally buys it on Ahri, because he had to be there to make the picks. And then we saw that trap get laid for him, and that put him even further behind because he had to spend the money on home guard. And they really just read SK Telecom beautifully here, and a great comp coming out of Sword.
Getting straight into game 2, Naj and Black Sword removing Vi, Caitlyn and Fizz from the champion pool, as well as Twitch, Zed and Shen on the red side. Nothing new from Sword except the Caitlyn ban against Piglet. SKT don't want to see any of that top lane Shen drama again this game either. As for the picks, Naj and Sword playing the same team as game 1 but Zyra instead of Leona. Why fix what isn't broken? Expression first picking Jax though is a confident move, but is it overly confident? With Thresh available this game, SKT want to build a team around him, with Orianna's teamfight disruption and Piglet being able to run around and pick off low health targets on Vayne. This match promised to be pretty crazy.
Nor an exhaust for that Piglet and the top lane right now. Prey and Kane have been jumped. Impact's gone in. Ignite's ticking. First blood's been secured. Now Impact's been hit by the tower shot. True damage lands. That's a flash from Prey. Impact gets out. That's a second kill for SKT. Pengi and Impact over the moon.
And the bottom lane gets destroyed here for Naj and Sword.
Nagne asks himself the eternal question, should I go back to base or should I stay and get a little bit more farm?
Blind, but he can sniff blood here as he lands it on towards Nagne. He was stood stationary there around the corner, and Pengi landing everything that he needed to, and they've got time here for some tower damage as well.
Watch shows the first instance of his expert repelling.
Feeling he can risk it against Faker. Now we see the shockwave catches Expression, but Watch was able to repel away from it. Expression's in trouble. He's going to leap over to Watch. That was a flash hook. Comes down from Pumandu. They picked up a kill onto Watch, and they turn their attention to Expression.
They're not done here. They're going to keep chasing the Jax. Here comes Vayne. Not quite able to knock him there against the wall. The barrel's coming in. Piglet going a little deep there. The command protect, making sure that tower not able to do too much. But this is going to open up the outer mid turret.
Faker comes up to bully Prey and Kane out of lane.
Always to invade on the dual lane side. Now it's Prey and Kane that are under attack.
Faker's got his shockwave available. We'll see who decides to go in first. The death sentence doesn't land. Here comes Faker from the side. He's got the attack down.
Oh, but Prey and Kane still sit there behind them. Sorry, there goes a shockwave. Prey tried to flash it. Box goes down. Good disengage there. Pumandu tanking up the turret. He's actually going to fall, but it will be a 2-for-1 in the end.
As a dragon attempt starts off from SKT, watch Prey and Kane's excellent teamwork.
Gragas barrels, but it's picked up by SKT. They're pushing in. Kane's going to go down. The Lantern bring Piglet through into the action, but they walk away as Sword back off.
Watch is walking into a web weaved by SK Telecom. You in the wrong neighborhood, son.
Coming up from bot, Ken close in on them. Beautiful.
He manages to repel the shockwave. Lands the cocoon, but that's a massive amount of damage from an attack dissident.
Baits upon baits as a Piglet who's starting to run away with the advantage comes round to see what's going on top lane.
A character that can handle Jax 1v1, but it's making him very, very confident. Piglet comes in, stuns.
Expression going to go down from this one, and almost a double bait coming in from that. We saw Expression trying to pull Impact in Gragas was coming along at the same time, and Impact just says, that's fine. We're going to have the Vayne moving in. Meanwhile, Mandu down at bottom is in trouble.
Prey's going to do the best he can to chase. Does have his flash. Is using those missiles. It actually catches onto the minions, though. Now Pumandu in trouble. We do see Watch gets caught out. The Condemned doesn't land. Watch gets shredded down as Prey was unable to secure the kill in that bottom lane. The rest of it...
And the pick compositions are proving their worth. Expression and Watch are on the wrong side of a Sonic Wave.
Oh, I'm going to push through this one. Actually kicking Watch away, but there's the shockwave. Expression dives away. The Q will hit him. It's Faker that picks up the kill in the end. Nice chase down.
Good job.
Now a siege breaks out. Impact's Renekton is too tanky for even Prey's armor shred to affect him.
Will interrupt SKT from re-engaging, but here they come!
Wow, the shockwave comes down. Prey, he's going to be finished off, and look at Piglet ripping through Sword here. That's 3 men down. Triple kill. Is he going to be able to pick up 4? The barrel comes back. Piglet won't be able to catch up, but it's 4 kills for them coming in. In total, only Nagne stays alive. They're going for the turret.
Piglet was so deep right there. He was closer to Najin Sword's base than Najin Sword were, in the middle of 3 people, able to hunt them down and finish them off. This is going to be an inhibitor.
The inhibitor has been taken out.
This is a lot for Najin Sword to take on, now falling fatally behind in gold, but Watch can still pull out some moves.
Sonic Wave connects, but no follow-up. Watch once again repels the shockwave. He comes back down, almost gets caught by the death sentence. And Pumandu once again applying so much presence around these towers.
And they've been able...
With the bot lane pushing hard, Najin Sword have to make some decisions on what to do. Whether those decisions are this game or next game is something that the bot lane need to decide.
Landed on towards Prey, but SKT going a little bit low from this. Looks like they want to back away. There's the damage onto Watch. He's coming straight down on top. Piglet going to pick that one up. He's now dominated.
Now right now, Sword doing the best they can to hold on with 4 members. They've held off for the most part, but Impact untouched. They've caught Prey. Prey's down. Here comes Piglet. He manages to cleanse off the root, manages to pick himself up a kill, and he focuses the rest of the damage to clear out the minions. SKT hammer down the 8th tower of the game and their 2nd inhibitor.
Impact is so ridiculously tanky on Renekton. Don't think Najin Sword can ever take him down. Now they're going on Nexus turrets.
Now look at the shield there onto Piglet coming out from Faker. They are going to take down that first Nexus turret. Nagne on the top side here with Gragas is going to get jumped on. Expression comes out. There's a barrel flinging him off towards a fountain, which won't make that much difference. Nagne moves off to the top side. Second Nexus turret goes down. Nagne does pick up the kill on Bengi, but they're pushing in for the finish here. They're trying to take down the Nexus, and they will take down the Nexus. SK Telecom T1.
Let's hear what Doublelift has to say about Najin's bot lane.
All square at 1-1.
And compare
feelings about that.
Yeah, one of the reasons that Sword couldn't react to the lane swap properly is because their duo lane was losing. They actually died in the 2v2. Both of them, both Prey and Kayn died to Lee Sin, Renekton, which is a really devastating 2v2 jungle top lane combo. And it's no coincidence also that Sword has lost every game that they've gotten 2v1. In the Gambit series, the Gambit 2v1 them in the first game, they came back every time Sword 2v2s the enemy duo lane, they win. And that's because Prey is such a big part of Sword's playstyle. He needs to get fed, he needs to get ahead, and he can't really get ahead if he's 2v1ing. That means he's splitting even with the enemy AD.
We've seen these bans before, but now SK Telecom giving Expression a respect ban in the form of Jax, but it's business as usual for Najin Black Sword. As for picks, the first time we'll see Bengi's Aatrox in this series, and Piglet back on Vayne, but Nagne's Gragas once again seeks to prevent those dark flights and spirit rushes.
Is very close by. Watch has committed, lands the Sonic Wave. They've jumped onto Piglet. He manages to get over to the ward. First blood is going to potentially be picked up here by SKT. Here comes Shen. He may have been interrupted. I don't think he landed. I think Renekton got in the way. Now Prey's still alive. Bengi continues to focus him down. Gets the auto attack. Here comes Nagne. They pop Bengi's passive. The Bloodwell's going to come back up, and that's going to be another kill for Sword.
Great win for Sword right there. They were able to get the Stand United as well as the Aatrox passive down in addition to their kills. It did cost Expression his life though, because he had to dive the turret to get in range for that stun and interrupt Shen.
Watch gets found out in the red side jungle.
Again, after hitting level 7, got some good wards. Watch is just going to get melted. Faker's got another spur rush, is going to get forward, picks himself up a kill, and just melts Watch in the jungle.
SKT try for the turnaround gank, but it's the worst best thing that could have happened. Keep an eye on Watch's double buffs.
United, is it going to be enough for Mandu? No, it's not. They managed to lock up Watch though, and they'll be able to bring it back. Mandu stealing that one. Probably could have left that one off for Piglet, but they will trade. It's a jungler.
As Expression has exploded on top, there's more action in this 2v2 bot lane.
Wanted to pop that Oh, here we go down bottom.
Strangleforce comes down, throws Kayn. No, he flashes over it. Now Piglet, tablet forward.
Oh, he got hit.
Catches him just with a tip. He manages to flash away. Now Prey, way up front, secures a kill onto Piglet, throws down the barrier. Piglet is alive in the background, or rather, the tower drops in the middle there for Sword. A very good fight going in favor of Prey and Kayn. It's not over, as here comes Watch. If the Sonic Wave lands, Piglet's in trouble. He connects. Barrel comes out a little wasted.
He gets the Sonic Wave to land even as the Condemn comes out. Really good combination.
There's just something about these Korean games and cheating death, getting away with double-digit hit points.
That's why you can see him chasing Shen to the ends of the earth right now. The rest of his team cannot engage unless he has vision on Shen, or else it's going to be a 5 versus 4.
Oh, risky play here coming in, the barrel
He lost
thrown down.
vision.
They've done a lot of damage in there. It's Stan United coming in, the flash over from Bengi. They're going to get involved in this one. Where is the taunt from Impact?
Everyone
There it
backs
is.
off.
They flash it away. They have pulled away. Dragon picked up here by SKT. Are they just going to back away through that bottom side? Yes, it looks like it. The charm did land there onto Elise. They followed through Impact. Prey picks up the kill, and they're going to keep going.
It's not over yet. There's a flash over the wall from Kayn. Expression has his dominance running. He's flashed. He stuns up Piglet. That's been cleansed. The resonating strike follows through. Crescendo catches Bengi over the wall, but it's not going to be enough. And the Ignite is survived thanks to Watch's safeguard. Dragon was secured by SKT, but they lost a single kill, and now they're red buff.
Those cleanses from Piglet so far have been clutch. It is a pretty good trade, doing Dragon for just 1 kill, but they also lost mid power.
Oh, Faker's in trouble there. That was a flash body slam
he
from
got
Night. He gets him with the ultimate. Now Bengi's caught out. He manages to get popped. The Bloodwell's been activated. Nightmare's going to throw down a barrel. That explodes. That's 2 kills now for Sword. If they want the tower, they can get it. Instead, they're going to back away.
And there's also something about Faker living up to the hype.
They managed to avoid damage and knock up out of Bengi. There is Watch right at the front trying to get involved. Bengi, blown up. Well, his passive is there to save him. Will he be able to escape? There is Stan United coming in. Stranglethorn's going to knock Najin's sword into the air. Prey is going to fall here. Faker from the side. Crescendo comes around. SKT doing great in this one. Now Kayn going to be the target. Exhaust goes down, but it won't make a difference. Expression is going to try and chase down Faker here, but with Impact to get that taunt down, will he have the finisher? Faker is still alive. Charm's going to land onto him. Is he going to be able to walk away? Faker is still running. Damaging him. There's another taunt, and Expression goes down. What just happened here? Faker magic again.
More explosive teamfights in mid, some ridiculous plays coming out here, followed by a marathon chase.
The side. He's going to have to be careful. We do see Prey going in. Strangleforce comes down. Now Prey is on the wrong side of the team. He's still alive. Crescendo locks up the backline there. SKT is Prey secured. The first kill of the fight. They traded support for support, but now Faker and Piglet are going to Sword side of the base. Prey gets taunted up. Prey gets knocked up. He's still alive though as he focuses down Piglet. This is a fight going in Sword's favor. Impact still alive. Fails his dash to the wall. Flashes away. He's going to get shut down by Sword.
Faker died there at the end as well, and honestly, they can leave Impact alive. He's going to have to recall here. Meanwhile, Sword going to push through. He's going to call out. Prey going to chase this one down, and it will be another kill. He's still alive. Surely can't escape this one. I'll happily eat my words, though, if he does. He's headed off in towards the base right now. Meanwhile, they're still pushing off. Here is Impact. What's he going to do? Close.
But Najin Black Sword keep the edge on this game and push it through to the Nexus.
Has his Randians, has his ultimate. Bengi started the fight.
Bengi is going to go in for this one, but there is a Crescendo coming away. Piglet going to use that cleanse on the backside, but he's going to be chased completely out of the fight. Stan United actually coming down onto him. Piglet did survive. Not so lucky here for those Nexus turrets though. There is Impact getting himself locked up. Piglet almost being blasted down. And there is Prey going in with the Valkyrie to pick up another one. That's 4 men down for SKT. And that is the win. 2 games to 1 now for Najin.
Crepo discusses bot lane synergy at the analyst desk.
Speaking of Zyra, speaking of Pumandu this game, Crepo, we just saw kind of a lackluster performance, to say the least.
Yeah, that passive missed, and then in the bot lane, his passive took a kill that otherwise would have granted double buffs to Piglet. Generally, in these games, he's been getting caught quite a few times. I don't want to discredit him because he's been making really good plays, some really nice teamfight ultis, but generally, his awareness hasn't been good enough, and he's gotten caught. Oh, a lot of other players are making mistakes as well. We've seen fail flashes in this game, 2 taunts into a wall. It's really important to see how these teams, how their mental agility
hangs in there, because in extended series, the players with the best mind, not necessarily mechanical skills, but just how mental agility fares up one team to the other.
In Game 4, Vayne is banned out from Sword, the first time this series, and Nagne's Gragas is finally being recognised as a legitimate problem for SK Telecom. Meanwhile in picks we see Thresh, Elise, Jax, Ezreal and Ahri versus Corki, Lee Sin, Zyra, Renekton and Orianna. Sword have all the mobility in the world here, hoping to isolate targets in teamfights or don't let it get to straight teamfighting at all. Remember, if Sword win, they go through to the finals.
Mandu coming in there as well. They're going to go for this one.
The late invade. This is going to be very interesting because both junglers have smite, and Watch runs right into him.
Oh, he's going to go down. This is so close. He's still alive. Gets into Spider Form. Banky gets taken out for first blood. Bray goes huge.
Cade with that hook at the last second, and then the reflexes from all members of Sword. Expression also using his flash ignite and stun instantly to chain it and grab them that first blood.
Kayn sweeps out Piglet in the bot lane and gets the Yordle to start flying for his life. But will SKT turn this one?
Here, having to Valkyrie away already. Mandu is going to stick around. There's a barrier used by Prey. He's going to go in. Piglet will use the barrier. Mandu now chasing down Prey. Can he get the finisher? He's still alive. Prey, don't come back in. The plant was waiting for him. And in the end, Prey walking up to the side. Kayn survives. And SKT coming out with the most health. Here comes Elise in. Flash over. He's missed the Q. And Prey will walk away from it. Incredible stuff.
What a dodge right there.
Alright, you've had your fun. Someone got away on low health. Yep, there's no way that's going to happen again.
Get back as a hook going to land onto Mandu here, down in that bottom lane, but Piglet going to dive in there. Kayn, Julie going to fall from this one. Piglet picks up that kill. Prey tries to get the kill. He's not got him though. Prey going super low, and he will fall. Piglet picks up the double.
I know our analyst desk is going to have something to say about that bottom lane mechanics, because Prey missed a couple shots there and then didn't even finish off the support trade.
Faker shockwaves Nagne, which triggered something in the bot lane.
Either way, we'll see if it costs them later on in the game, as there is a shockwave used by Faker on towards Nagne, and he's going very, very low from that one. Meanwhile, Prey down in this bottom lane, he's been sandwiched between the two. There's a flash over from Piglet, who manages to get the kill.
Is the Wolf Camp about to become the MVP for this game?
Take a look at this. Watch now coming in. They managed to get the cocoon. Nagne's going to use that spur rush to get away. Does actually come right back into the fight. The Wolves are trying to pick up the kill. Reduced Expression's got one, as now Watch flashes away. I believe it was the Ignite that picked up that one on Faker. Expression has a blue buff. He's looking for a Counter-Strike leap. Faker's going to get the movement speed. The hook from Kayn. Faker's going to get dropped. Expression with a double kill. He's back in.
More crazy kills coming out onto NJS. Piglet's item advantage is shining through.
In trouble. He flayed Piglet backwards.
He's dead from that one. I'm not sure that Mandu will be in too much trouble here either, but there is Watch coming in. Here comes Bengi as well. He's not quite got that kick available, but he's going to kick the tower down a few times, and this should be the first tower of the game here for SKT. Piglet actually delaying that one a little bit. That might get him caught out. In comes Nagne from the side. He's taking a lot of damage though. Will have to Spirit Rush himself away. Meanwhile, Orianna's trying to move in for the kill.
Well, Prey's doing the best he can to pick up a kill on Mandu, but he's going to get chunked down. Bengi secures another kill for his team. It was actually Mandu with a double. Those plantlings too strong.
And Prey sits on top of a ward. It's never really going to go well, is it?
In place in the previous games.
Oh, this is not good.
No,
Prey
Prey
getting caught out on top of a ward. Baker going to walk in, says thank you very much for the free kill. I'm going to kill his free.
Who says Orianna is not an assassin? He comes in with the blue buff, catches Prey off guard.
SKT have complete and utter control over everything this game. 13,000 gold ahead at only 18 minutes.
Absolutely destroys them. That's going to be a 2-for-1 for now. Watch trying to finish off Baker, who's still trying to run away. Meanwhile, Nagne trying to escape.
The charm land!
The charm does land. That will save Nagne's life, but that is not going to beat Baker going down. In fact, he turns it around. Oh, he is! Wow, Watch dives in there. Uses the flash to get the kill. SKT actually suffering a little bit more than they expected after what was a great shockwave opener.
This game is a whitewash. SKT are stomping this harder than the Gaming Gear and Mineski games. Ridiculous stuff.
taken down from the map from that one. Nagne and Expression here trying to run back from things underneath the tower, maybe not the safest. Mando actually going in there, gets the kill onto Expression, and that is going to be another in him. They've got super minions coming in. Have they got enough health to finish off? There's the kill onto Prey. It's now Kayn and Nagne to hold on to the game. Nagne's the target, the kick there from Bengi. Faker dies underneath the fountain. He'll pay the price of life from that one. But with the Corki still alive, they might be able to do it here.
Well, they're going to do the best they can. It's not a lot of defense here from Sword. This is going to be game 4 going to SKT. They've got one Nexus turret and decide to back away. Those death timers not particularly high right now as we are only 23 minutes into the game. And here's a replay of that fight.
And then they surrendered. Okay.
There is the victory. And it's going to be a bit of a surrender there coming in at the end. And well, it's not really that much of a surprise. That's an insurmountable comeback, I think, on the table there. SKT.
Back to Double Lift for some thoughts on going on tilt.
I think from that one. So
one thing I like about SKT is they don't fall victim to tilt. When Faker has a bad game, the next game he's like, okay, this is a fresh game, I'm going to play well. When Pumandu gets caught a million times, he's still not afraid to play aggressive. He doesn't get tilted and discouraged. Right. He plays the way that he plays, and he's just confident that he's practiced this way.
Game 5 then, here we go. Standard bans on both sides, but now Impact is taking Jax away from Expression. This is the ultimate test. This team is also very damage focused, unlike Sword, who have 3 tanky damage soaks, leaving Caitlyn and Ahri to dish out all the DPS.
This top lane, Watch is setting up. He's got Paranoia, and you do see that Impact is in trouble. There's the Paranoia.
They're going in, and Impact is in trouble. He's going to flash away from this one. We'll see if Watch can actually keep a hold of him. He's got that red buff, so Impact is not going anywhere fast here. Flash comes down. Expression picks up the kill, but here comes Nagne. First blood did go over to Expression. There's the start on the Dragon as well.
Kayn has some sick hooks and big flays in this 2v2 bot lane.
We are going to see Kayn landing the hook here on towards Mandu. There's the box. Strangled Thoughts come down. Mandu is going to die. It's Kayn that picks up the kill.
That's why Thresh has been banned so much against them. Kayn making a play.
Now Impact's in trouble. Paranoia goes out. He manages to leap. Aatrox stays in distance, and Watch as well as Expression securing it. Now Bengi and Faker into the mid lane. We do see Stand United comes down. Here comes Expression. The question is, can they stop anything? The tower's been saved. No kill secured yet. Kayn looking for the hook. Not going to connect. Faker still alive. Now Nagne's in trouble.
He's got the shockwave still alive, and there is the shockwave coming down, but Faker so very low. Expression dies. Faker still alive. Protect comes in. Kayn trying to get the kill. Kayn does get the kill. Bengi will bring it back though. And again, as I said, it doesn't ever rain, it pours in these games.
Watch smartly charges for Piglet, leaving Prey to take on Pumandu.
Down pressure on the DFG even there for him as a hook lands onto Mandu.
Paranoia comes in. You see in the background that Piglet is the focus of Watch. Pumandu still alive in the background. He's going to be the first victim as Watch unable to pick up a kill onto Piglet. Now Stand United coming down as the plants are basically killing Prey. But the kill did get secured by Sword, so well played.
Bengi was just getting into position as Elise, and he was about to pull off a very nice gank, but Nocturne has the range on him. Nagne another defensive ult.
Yeah, the Jax here.
And Kayn could write a book with all these death sentences.
Top lane turret. Bengi trying to hold on to this lane. He's going to get hooked. Where's the fear going to send him? Pretty much perfect there. He's down to less than half HP. Can he escape off from this one? Yes, just about underneath the turret.
Prey had no mana for Ace in the hole, used the 90 caliber net to get in range, and didn't finish off the kill. So they've traded towers as now Expression is moved to this top lane to defend against Impact, shoving the inner top lane turret. Here's a replay of that.
Expression hides in the Fnatic bush from the roaming SKT, but a 5k gold lead for SKT is looming over this game.
Dove in for a fight. Strangleforce knocks up a few. Expression gets out.
Impact going in from this one. True Shot Barrage comes across the side as well as the kick goes through the team. There's a shockwave ripping them down as well, but they've not got the damage to follow through. Kayn super low. Baker still trying to get the ball in position as there is Elise diving in. Sword still alive, but all very low.
They managed to pick up a kill on Pumandu, but Sword lose the tower. SKT will be happy with losing one and grabbing the objective.
Expression.
Faker is ready. 3 full items, 26 minutes. Time to turn it on.
And they go for the pick on Kayn.
Oh, Kayn's in trouble. He manages to get the flay down. True Shot Barrage throws across. Now Stand United has been used. Nagne re-engages. massive shockwave, throws 3 of them together. The first victim is Watch as the rest of Sword are on the retreat. They're trying to get out. Here comes Impact. He's on to Prey. Prey's still alive as the counter-strike doesn't land. A good charm. Now Piglet's in trouble. He uses the arcane shift forward. He secured another kill as Nagne's on the retreat. Nagne gets out. He manages to pick up 1 before Piglet closes it out. Expression's still in trouble.
Still in trouble and is the last man up. And this one is Impact going to dive on top of him. There is the ace for SKT. This is at least an inhib here.
That Stand United on top of Nagne was a huge sign on top of his head that said, I'm going to Spirit Rush in towards you guys. And Faker, with a beautiful shockwave, that could be the game-changing play.
They're trying to finish us on a Watch. Just get shredded by the damage. The rest of SKT, they're on to the Nexus turrets. They're on to the Nexus. Ladies and gentlemen, SKT have done it.
This is the victory here. This is the final for SK Telecom T1. They will be representing Korea at the Staples Center in the World Final after a thrilling best of 5. And well, they've deserved it here. Both teams would have deserved this victory after what's just happened. But it's SKT. Amazing, amazing best of 5.
And there we go. Thank you very much for watching Super LCS Recap Worlds. My name is Ben Forbes, and you can see the other semi-final when it comes out in the bottom left-hand corner, or you can subscribe in the bottom right. I'm sorry this is a bit late. I've spent the last 8 hours editing this, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too long. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching once again.